My name is Steve Palomino. I'm an accountant extraordinaire. I'm into systems. I'm a CPA based here in Texas. The ones that I've observed are around matching. Most of your organization does a lot of sales, a lot of small sales where you're matching invoices, sales invoices, and applying the cash. That's some very low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of risk in that. You can detect fraud and other types of activities. So automation really lends itself very well for those types of very repetitive tasks that tend to be in what they call structured data. So they're coming in off of databases or Excel spreadsheets, that kind of stuff. Well, I think the first part is define your needs. What are your needs? What are the real issues? Talk to your stakeholders, as we call them, I guess. Find out what needs to be done, and then don't be afraid to try different softwares. The entrants on some of them are fairly light, the cost, and one application may not necessarily work for what you're trying to solve. So I would say don't be afraid to look around. There's a huge opportunity there. We could talk for hours on that. Source data comes in from many systems now. Most organizations have a number of trial balances, let's say, or HR systems. AI can look at it, it can tabulate changes, it can look for totals, things we used to pay people to do. Organizations tend to not pay those anymore. So there's a significant amount of data that we can bring in using AI. It's a great tool, and it's low cost usually. Massive opportunity there. Human beings tend to look at things repetitively and basically just perform a function, and AI tends to not do that. So for looking at variances where a person would gloss over it, maybe, or not see patterns. Most people, humans, don't see patterns in data. Some of us do, a lot of us don't. And so using AI to look for those patterns. Also on the predictive side, being able to gather data from outside of your organization. There's so much out there on the World Wide Web, right? I guess internet. I mean, you could even hit social media now. I understand you can buy a lot of that stuff too. So you could integrate all kinds of personal decisions that don't even really technically affect your business directly, but ultimately may be drivers, downstream or upstream drivers to your organization's profitability. One of the things that I've really enjoyed is just getting to see the different vendors, what they offer, how AI has moved forward. I've been involved in this space basically, I don't want to say since it began, but probably the last 5 or 6 years, and it's waxed and waned, and I'm glad to see that organizations are still out there driving forward and that we're seeing adoption of the technology. Networking and benchmarking, but really on adoption. What do we do? Where do we start? How's it worked for you? People sharing where they've gone and where they've come from and where they're going. So yeah, that's seems to be kind of a general theme. At one point, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, it was, is it real? And now it's real, where do I take it? Or we've already used it here, where do we use it next? What are the other use cases and where have we failed? Where have you seen people fail? So those have been some of the conversations.